What's up guys, Javier from That Racing Channel. Welcome back to another episode. We have a special treat for our rotary fans today. Behind me, we have Albert, AKA Chulo, and his 1985 FB RX7. It's actually the first time we've ever featured an FB on the channel. We have a pretty cool story for you today. He's owned this car over 10 years and rebuilt it from factory stock, full restoration, now having a turbo 3-rotor, making upwards of 700 wheel horsepower. We're gonna get into the story, learn all about it. We're also gonna go for a spin and see what this thing's all about. Let's get into it, boys. Alright guys, we're going for a spin, and Albert, aka Chulo's FB RX7. God, this thing sounds so good. What's up, my brother?
How you doing?
Appreciate you coming out.
Thank you for having me.
This is the first FB we've ever had on the channel. I'm super excited.
Me too.
And dude, already, this thing it sounds so good. It sounds so good. There's something about that 3-rotor engine. Especially, you got what, an 80mm turbo behind it?
Yep, 80mm T6.
T6, 80mm turbo behind it. And just when you start climbing up in the RPMs, you just feel that rotary vibration through the car, right? Like, it's so unique. Yeah. But we're gonna go out, we're gonna make a couple pulls, see what this thing's all about, and yeah, have some fun.
Yes, let's do it.
This thing is rowdy, dude.
Yeah. You'll see that actually I keep touching the ECU.
Yeah. Well,
and the reason why I keep doing it is because I have so many safeties on it for me not to do these things.
Yeah.
So I should have taken those things off, but it's all about,
man, the safeties are good.
Yeah, they're great. That's what saves it from people like me.
Yeah, that right there was TRC approved, my man. That right there was TRC approved, bro. This thing spins those tires like nobody's business, dude.
Yeah.
God.
Yep.
This thing's
And that was one of the things that I wanted to do too, because the car comes with a 5-inch wheel in the back because it didn't come to handle this power.
Yeah.
And what we did was we actually got an 8-inch back there. That makes it obviously track much better, you know, the traction.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, this thing is super manageable.
Oh no, yeah.
Bro, this thing is super
I mean, we had to do miles per hour a couple times
Bro,
already.
like this thing is super manageable, and when it's spinning, because it's like hazing the tire, you know? When it's hazing the tire, it's going straight. So you guys did a really good job at setting up the rear end and the alignment and all that stuff, right?
Yep.
So what's the basic rundown? What's the basic rundown on this thing?
It is a 3-rotor engine, studded. It is a street ported half bridge, 80mm T6 turbo, and stock tranny. It's a turbo 2 tranny.
Turbo 2 tranny.
Yep.
And it takes the beating?
Oh yeah, it takes it. I mean,
nice.
Yeah, we do good with it.
Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. It's like factory, or is it rebuilt or strength and
It is rebuilt by a friend of mine, Mr. Nice Guy. So yeah, he does a great job at that. We found some parts. That older person that actually just had saved up, and he put it all together, and there it goes.
Heck
It's
yeah.
holding up the power.
That's awesome, dude. And I love it. It's like
Yeah.
very factory interior retained, you know, like you got the fuel tech
Yep.
little dash there.
Yep.
But other than that, man, it's super basic, and this car is incredibly clean.
Yeah.
Oh my god, this thing sounds incredible. This has got to be one of my favorite sounding engines. Like I'm partial to like RBs and 2Js, but the turbo 3-rotor, specifically like turbo 3-rotor, you know, because it sounds so different naturally aspirated. But the turbo 3-rotor, man, it has that like the rotary like tang, you know, but with more grunt, you know.
Yeah.
Gotta love it, man. Gotta love it.
Oh, and obviously the 3-rotor also gives you like a different, it's like on a high-end sound.
Oh yeah.
It's a different sound.
Oh yeah.
It's cool.
Absolutely. What do you rev it to?
About 85, 86. That's like the
Nice.
most right now.
Awesome.
Because of the 93 tune, so you keep it like low.
Oh, this car's on 93.
This is 93.
Wow.
This is pump 93.
So this thing's making some power on pump gas, dude.
Yes, it is making some good power
Wow.
on pump gas.
You drive it a lot? That's why you
Oh, yeah.
didn't want to do like 85 or?
No, I didn't want to do 85, and that was the reason why I wanted to go 3-rotor. Because when you go 3-rotor, you can get a little more power. You have that extra rotor
Yeah.
on 93 pump gas.
Got it.
So yeah, I drive it a lot, and I don't want to be with that of, you know,
Try to find
try to find it and have the power.
I mean, you
So-
drove almost an hour. to
Oh
it,
yeah,
so
I've driven over 3 hours,
dude.
4 hours. I've driven to Miami.
Love it, dude. Love it. Nothing but smiles when you're.
Oh yeah, you know, there's days.
When you got the sun shining, you got a turbo 3-rotor.
There's days I don't drive it for like a couple weeks. And then I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna just take it to the gas station, and you'll see me like the whole smile, you know, like,
Cheesing, dude.
the whole ride, yeah.
Like that'll just absolutely never get old.
No, if you notice, I don't bang the gears, because since it's a stock tranny, yes, it's proven that 13Bs can handle more. You know, these trannies will handle more of the power on that because of the torque. It doesn't produce the same amount of torque this engine does.
A 3-rotor has more displacement, making more torque.
So that's why I take it easy on it, because I've been through that and it's not fun.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
I could tell that you were, you know, that 2.3.
Oh,
you're
yeah.
purposely, you know,
Yeah,
being careful with it,
I put it.
because it's better to have fun for a longer period of time than
Yes. Eventually.
than to do a power shift and you're towing the car home.
Yeah.
I get
Eventually,
it.
I'm gonna upgrade on the tranny.
Yeah.
And we can have more fun with the car.
Oh yeah. What kind of training upgrades would you typically
I would say
do? in this?
T56.
T56.
T56, because I can use the 6 gear. Yeah, 6 gear also.
Yeah.
You'll notice that right now she's on 5th. We're doing maybe like 50 miles per hour. She's at 27.
Yeah.
I would like her to be around 17.
Yeah. If you had that 6
So,
gear,
yeah,
you could
Yeah.
nice little cruiser.
Yeah. We're going on
God, dude. Honestly, nothing beats that sound, bro. Nothing beats that sound,
Fun,
dude.
man.
I know, I keep saying it, but it's truly like one of my favorite sounds that a car can produce, bro. Like, my God, dude. And I love it, man. We're cruising around, doing pulls. I mean, we've been driving around, you know, 30, 40 minutes, and this thing's chilling, man. You guys put together
Oh yeah.
a reliable just street car. This is a street car. It's not
that-
like make a pull over, let it cool
That
off.
was
you know?
that was the whole point of me building a car, because, you know, in the beginning I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do like a track car, and then I was like, you know what, I want to be able to enjoy the car.
Yeah.
And that's why we actually did this. And don't get me wrong, I didn't get it perfect the first time. I had a couple, you know, setbacks, but we got it done and we're happy, man. I'm enjoying it now.
Hell yeah.
I'm enjoying it now.
That's awesome, dude. I'm very much enjoying it.
I don't know if you heard that back there, that boof. That had to be a huge flame.
Bro, the whole time, every time you're doing pulls.
Boof. You hear that? Yeah. Yeah. It's a hot day and she's been at 175. That's the highest. That's great.
I mean, dude, that's perfect.
She's behaving.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
Good girl's behaving.
She's behaving.
She's treating us right today.
Yeah.
The amount of pulls that we've done is, I appreciate it.
No,
because
man,
it's going to make the video that much better.
Bro, if I can't have a car that I cannot enjoy and have pulls in, why would I want this thing?
Yeah.
You know?
Some rotary stuff going on here. I think we had a little bit of fireball action there. My man, you sent it real good.
Yeah.
You sent it real good, my man.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, bumper. It's all good, man. You got a little rotary scar, you know?
Yep. It's what it is.
TRC approved right there.
Yeah, I'm good.
TRC approved.
My name is Albert Castro, and this is my 1985 Mazda RX-7 FB. I always had a passion for these cars. I grew up around them with my father. He had every car you could think of that had a rotary engine. He was crazy about them. My parents always tell me stories that when I was a kid, I was always playing with the cars and I was always around them, so that's my passion. Long story short, I actually grew up and I get to own my own. At the age of around, I would say 15, I had my first Mazda RX-7. I remember it was a 12A. I thought it was the fastest car out there and maybe it had 75 horsepower. I thought I was really cool to have that car. I wanted to modify it, but my father wasn't into it as much as I was. He was already getting out of it. So then, long story short, I moved to US, moved to New York. I got rid of that car to purchase a daily. I was going to college at the time. So then I'm in vacation in Florida. I stop at a gas station and I see this car. Actually, this was the only color that my father did not own. So that's really the reason why I went with this. Like, it just grabbed my attention. Car was bone stock, and to see these cars stock now, it's kind of hard. I mean, this is a 39-year-old car. So I asked the guy, you know, about the car. Guy was really nasty, but his son came up to me, gave me a card and said, when I'm ready to sell the car, I'll call you. I think it was like a year or two later, I get the call. I was up in New York, so I Zelled my aunt some money. She picked up the car, took it to Kissimmee. I didn't even see the car. I was really surprised because in the glove compartment, I had all the paperwork for this car. Service, sticker price. I'm talking about everything you could think of I have of this car. We painted the car first. Then after we painted the car, I put new suspension on the car. I did the brakes on the car. And then I'm driving the car with my friends and I'm noticing that I don't have the power that I would want. So at the time, I didn't know what a 3-rotor was. So I bought a Cosmo 13B engine. Then I'm at the track and a friend of mine tells me about the 20B engine that they just posted it in Orlando. That's JDM Express. I call the guy, I buy the engine, I sell the 13B, and that's how this started. I noticed that the engine has 13B housings and it's a 20B. So that could be two things. It could be good or it could be bad. We open the engine, I start looking, and it's a different kind of engine. It's an Auto EXE engine. So you know how it's A, B, C, or D series. So there was a myth of an E series. So that E series is actually what I bought by accident. I did my research on it, and it's that Mazda had early models that were still under warranty. Being under warranty, they didn't have any more parts, so they sold it, or the company Auto EXE took over. And they come up with that. They grab these engines, they build it, and they put it on these new cars. It was like 430, I think to be exact, were built. And I was lucky enough to have that. First mechanic that worked on the engine was actually Loquito Killer, cool guy. But now my mechanic is actually Gringo Speed, the Slow Bros. He did fabrication on the car. J Powder Solutions powder coated the whole thing. Rear end is a 9-inch rear fabricated by Berto, Demente Racing. Fuel Tech ECU. It's a FT500 tuned by Wilbur Performance. Injectors 16 on primary, 1600 on primary, 3, and 3 2200s on the secondary. And I have 2 fuel pumps, Bosch fuel pumps, best fuel pumps out there right now, I would say. Out of the dyno, we left with 650 on 93 pump. That was at 18 PSI, now it's at 22, so it has to be over 700. Now the car had way too much power and I had no traction. That's when I took it to Berto Demente Racing. He did the rear end for me. We got the wheels, it's an 8-inch, nothing cut inside. Car is completely bone stock back there. I did 4-lug for when I want to put my stock wheels, I can still put my stock wheels in it with no problem at all. And still on stock brakes, man, with some good power. So turbo system is a Borg Warner 80 millimeter T6. Normally that T6 comes with a 110, but at the time, I had a friend of mine that he was already running with a 115. And that's kind of like a special thing to do. So that was actually my tranny mechanic, Mr. Nice Guy. He actually sold me that back housing. We put it on that because it wasn't giving us the power we wanted on the dyno with the 110. So the 115, first pull, that's when it gave us the 650 on 93 pump, and I was good with that. Why Chulo? Be honest with you, that's like something I call everybody. Hey Chulo this, hey Chulo that. So the name Chulo came out of that, and my boys were like, just put the car, name it El Chulo. And we named it Chulo, so that's actually my nickname now. I didn't pick it, but that's my nickname. It's not what it's supposed to mean. It's more as being nice to someone, just calling them like sweetheart or my love or something like that. That's how I use it. But yeah, that's the name of the car. My wife is one of the biggest supporters, so I mean, she's there for me, man. She hates this thing, but it's a hate-and-love relationship. Shout out to TRC for having me. I'm a big fan, and just to be here, that's super amazing. And you guys do owe me a bumper. You're right about that. You owe me a bumper. So thank you guys. I appreciate it, man.